I just wanted to say a couple of things about Oz movies in general. There have been over 50 of them. And even by the time they made the 1939 version with Judy Garland, which is the most famous of all of them, there had already been 10. So it was written in 1900, I think, is when it came out.
Yeah.
And then there were a lot of sequel books that came out in the ensuing years. So there were silent versions and black and white versions before the 1939 classic. And we're only reviewing like 5 of them tonight, but there are others. But these, I think, are the most popular 5, probably. And I also want to mention that the latest incarnation, Wicked, is the only version that's been a hit right out of the gate. It's the only one that's made money, that's turned a profit right out of the gate. Return to Oz, that we're going to review, as a flop. The Wiz, that we're going to review, was a big flop. And The Wizard of Oz from 1939 cost so much money at the time that it did not make profit in its initial theatrical run, and really only became famous and well loved in the 50s when they started airing it on television. So I just wanted to say that couple of things before we let Dave talk a bunch, because Dave is the only one who has seen Wicked, and I think that Dave is probably the right guy amongst the 3 of us to talk about these movies. Although I was going to watch it, Dave. I was going to watch Wicked 1 if it was on Netflix.
It was not.
But it's not. So I couldn't watch it in the theater, and I don't want to watch anything on a normal TV. But I know you like Wicked, but why don't you briefly synopsize it and try and sell it to me and Ben? Try and make us want to watch this movie, Dave.
Oh, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can really sell it to you guys or not. I'm here to champion the musicals, and I can't. I don't know. I think it's one of those kind of like visceral things. You either like it or you don't. You're either into those things or you're not. So I'm not sure that I can sell you. I will give you a synopsis on Wicked 1, though. So it's Wicked Part 1 is directed by John Chu, and it's the origin story of Elphaba. Do you guys know where Elphaba comes from? Where that name comes from?
I know she's the Wicked Witch, right?
Yeah,
but I don't know where the name comes from.
The name is actually it's based on L. Frank Baum's initials, so it's like a kind of a phonetic pronunciation of L. Frank Baum, so Elphaba. And so that part's played by Cynthia Erivo. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
I think
so she's the green-skinned girl that becomes the Wicked Witch, and she kind of forges an unlikely friendship with her popular roommate, who is Ariana Grande's character, Glinda. And in the movie, or in the Broadway show, it's pronounced Galinda. And they attend Shiz University to become witches. Shiz University, yeah.
Okay.
They're, basically they're opposites, and their personalities clash. Galinda is, more interested in kind of like chasing the spotlight. She's more interested in the superficial. And Elphaba is more serious and is actually the one that has powers. And she ends up becoming an exile after discovering that the wizard, as we know, is a fraud and is responsible for the persecution of the sentient animals of Oz. So that is basically the synopsis of Part 1.
Tell me more about the execution of animals.
Persecution. There's no execution.
Oh, persecution of
that
animals.
Would be horrible.
Why are they persecuting animals?
Because the animals can talk, and they have opinions, and they kind of know that the wizard is a fraud, and so.
Oh, so the animals know this, but the humans in the city don't.
That is correct. As is often the case, animals are more perceptive.
Right. Interesting, because I've been hearing about animal cruelty in regards to this movie, but I had no idea how they were able to get that angle. So yeah. That's news to me.
One of the things that both movies have been kind of criticized for is being political.
Everything's
political now. Well, so that's a lot of where that comes from.
To be fair, the original novel was political as well.
It was.
Everything's a product of its socio-political economic time. And we live in a particularly shitty socio-political economic time. But go on, Dave. Tell us more about Part 1.
Um, so my review of it, I w- there are good things and bad things. I think a lot of the criticism that it got is probably kind of warranted. I thought the pacing was not particularly even. It drags a little bit here and there, especially during like the longer musical scenes. But the score is amazing, and it spawned that big hit with Defying Gravity, which was on the radio, and
Isn't this
did really
movie
well.
like a million years long too?
I knew you were going to say that. It is a little long, you know.
How long? Wasn't it like 3.5 hours?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's quite that long, is it?
I'm gonna look up I'm gonna look up Wicked on IMDb. That's one of the reasons I always hesitate to see anything, because my butt gets numb. Like, I have to really love what you're doing if I'm gonna make my butt fall asleep.
See,
It is 2 hours and 40 minutes, which isn't
Yeah.
3 hours, but
but it's
that's
close.
that's still kind of
That's
long.
nothing. I saw the 3-hour cut of Midsummer in wooden seats.
Oh,
Random
man.
theater in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Talking about numb butts.
I didn't want to bring up the length because I really would like for you to see it, but
It'll happen. I do actually want to see the first one because I've watched some other people
it is
review.
visually. Yeah, it's visually amazing. If nothing else, I think you'll love the visuals of it. It's the set design is beautiful. The colors are beautiful. It's got a lot going for it. It's if you are a fan of the Broadway original, it is a decently faithful adaptation of the original. I haven't seen the original, so I'm just going by what I've heard, but that's what I've heard. But it did get a lot of criticism for being a two-parter, kind of, people were talking about it being like a money grab, I was aware of that going into it, but a lot of people, when I saw the first film and it got to the end and it was to be continued, a lot of people kind of like groaned in the theater, the people who were not aware. So
They pulled a Dune.
Yeah.
Because they didn't advertise Dune or Wicked as being part one. They just
No.
called it Dune and Wicked. And it's like, haha, psych, you only get the first half.
That's what happened.
So what would you give this movie on a 1 to 10?
Man, I would absolutely give it a 7.
Ta-da! A 7's not bad. I do plan to see this one. I like a lot of the people that are in it, Jeff Goldblum being one of them, and I also like
Yes.
Jonathan Bailey. And I've heard that the two women are phenomenal in this movie.
They have great chemistry. Yeah, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have great chemistry.
They're just weird in real life.
They are. Yeah, if you've watched any of the promotional tour with them together, they are weirdly kind of connected at the hip now.
I don't want to get conspiratorial on our show, but there are people out there now saying that these two women are actually romantically involved
They may
to some
be.
extent.
Yeah, they may be. They're
And
very
that
close.
when Cynthia sees people touching Ariana in the background, you'll see her get like a death glare.
Yeah.
Like she's becoming very controlling of
I mean,
Ariana.
To be fair, Ariana Grande did get kind of like attacked recently by like a fan in a crowd when they were like on a press tour, and so Cynthia kind of like jumped to her defense, and I think was like ready to kick this guy's ass, but
She'll go Wicked Witch on your ass.
she'll go Wicked Witch on your ass. Yeah.
So I mean, I can hold that. I don't care how I like to say I can separate the art from the artist, so I'm not going to let that stop me from seeing this movie at some point.
But yeah, Jeff Goldblum definitely stands out as Wizard of the Oz, and unfortunately he doesn't get enough time, in my opinion, in either movie. But I'll watch Jeff Goldblum in anything,
Yeah.
and Michelle Yeoh, who's also in the movie.
Yeah, she's also a good one.
Yeah.